This is Techie and the Biz, a podcast to explain and simplify how business technology is changing and why it can benefit your organization.
One of the biggest digital transformations that took place during the COVID pandemic is the world's adoption of virtual communication tools like Zoom and Microsoft Teams, to name a few. Many businesses kept their staff collaborating while working from home with their UC or Unified Communication Tool of choice. UC provides users with collaboration tools like chat, file sharing, as well as voice and video calling. Microsoft's UC solution called Teams has become so popular that it's accessed by almost 150 million users every day. Users can access Teams using their laptops or their mobile devices, making it both convenient and accessible.
Joining us today is Gary Gluzman, Executive Director of Product Development for Metto, to help us better understand Microsoft Teams and specifically its recent integration to simplify how we communicate. Welcome, Gary.
Hi, hello, everybody. Good to be here.
I want to first congratulate you on completing the Chicago Marathon this past weekend. What a true accomplishment.
Yeah, congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah, how are you feeling?
Feeling good, a little sore, but that's expected. But overall, feeling pretty good.
Wow.
You forget the soreness, and then all you remember is that you completed the marathon. So
yeah, that's amazing. I once ran a half marathon, and it was the hardest thing I had ever done. And I think now probably the only time you will ever see me run is if someone's chasing me, which would be horrible.
I think you could do a full marathon. Honestly, I believe in you.
I remember when, Max, you ran a marathon a few years ago.
I actually did. It was actually Gary who was my inspiration at the time. I remember we were talking about it in New York, and then he came into the office one day and he laid out all the medals of all the marathons he had run all over the world, just to show me that it can be done. And I actually got the bug and I completed the New York City Marathon. So pretty excited about that.
Yeah, you seem like you might have some more in you. You seem a little excited talking about it.
I like to keep my hope alive.
All right.
It's all the peer pressure for me. That's all, me just peer pressuring Max into it. So
it worked. Yeah, that was total peer pressure, by the way. But I'm glad you did it, because that's something I'll never forget.
And I'll never forget the training, because that training is intense.
Me not being here?
Yeah, it was like hours. Yeah. It was like gone for like 7 hours. Gary, to start us off, I was wondering, does Microsoft Teams really replace how we communicated and collaborated before the pandemic?
So it definitely does. I think one of the biggest differences is that, we were all coming into the office and we're used to talking to everybody, and Microsoft Teams and other tools were available. I think the big difference is that not everybody was on them like they started being when COVID first hit. So like you could try to ping somebody on Teams, but they didn't have their application open. So you didn't really expect for them to actually respond, Now, when COVID hit, everybody was at home. They were looking at their computers. They were trying to do work, and everybody just really tuned into Teams. And it's a great tool because not only that it offers like chat, but it does video meetings like similar to Zoom, very, very simple to use, really, really good quality, but also ability to store files, share files. You could work on the same Word document or PowerPoint presentation together at the same time and see these changes come up, in real time. So it really makes working remote very easy and very seamless. And that's part of the reason why I think it really took off like wildfire once pandemic hit.
Wow. Max, was it easy for you to adopt using Microsoft Teams with the team you work with?
Yeah, actually, we started using Microsoft Teams before the pandemic, mainly because most of the people on my team are scattered throughout the United States. So in order to see them, I like the whole video aspect of it. I thought it was a great collaboration tool. I was shocked that not everybody was using it. And unfortunately, it took a major pandemic for everybody to start adopting it. But the missing piece, I will say, was basically at the end of every day, I'd have to check all my voicemails because I didn't have that integration with my office telephone number. So it was almost like using two separate communication systems, but I loved it from day one.
In regards to the video aspect, I remember in the early days of quarantine, especially when we were all just getting used to the video calls at home, there might have been a few of me just popping into some of your calls by mistake because I had no idea that I was seen in the background.
Oh, yeah, I think it was a little more than just a few times,
Oh.
but the good news is you were always camera ready.
I was always shocked. Like I had no idea. It only had happened the day before. So what is still missing to allow the users to completely cut the cord from their company phone system?
So that's a great question. And out of about 145 million daily active subscribers, according to Microsoft, many companies still maintain a PBX. So what that really means is they have Microsoft Teams that they're using, and they're using it for primarily chat and all the things that I described earlier. But their phone on their desk is still on, and their phone number still is on that desk phone. And the actual calling, external calling, ability to actually call, a pizza or just call a regular PSTN line is still missing. So another level of integration that's missing is there's a lot of people that are coming into the office a couple times a week or a couple times a month. So they really have that disconnection from their landline or their office phone. So what's great is that Microsoft has all the puzzle pieces in place. And it's just a matter of customers reaching out to companies like Metto, and we will actually guide them along the path of how to put it all together so that you have one application. Because at the end of the day, you want to make it easy for people, whether they're in the office or whether they're working remote or they're doing a mix of both. You want them to use one application across all devices and just make it so that they could do everything from a single app.
Max, what if I want to call my customer using Teams on my mobile device, since I'm in my car, let's say, and then when I get to the office, I want to then move the call to my computer?
And that's actually my favorite feature of Microsoft Teams. And you may see me doing that all the time as I'm pulling into the driveway and I'm on a call. And then I walk to my home office that's in our backyard. And all I have to do is a quick transfer button on the device I want to transfer to. I can also add another device, but typically I just transfer the call to my laptop and then continue the conversation. So it's actually something I've been using for probably 2 years now.
So this is so interesting to me because whenever I get a call from your work number, I'm assuming you're at your desk. So
yeah, I'm almost
not.
never at my desk when I'm calling you from the office line. That's the whole beauty of the technology. But don't worry, Erica, it's all business.
Right. And I mean, I trust you, Max. Where else are you going? Gary, what type of solution does Metto offer to help provide this calling service?
So we recently became a certified partner by Microsoft. The service actually is called Operator Connect. It's actually a rather intensive process of getting certified and tested and go through the entire process that Microsoft had actually outlined. And we did that very, very successfully. In addition to that, Microsoft only selects certain key service providers to actually be part of that ecosystem. So we're actually very happy and excited that we were selected by Microsoft. So once that integration is completed and all the testing is done, what really makes it one of the main benefits of that process is that for IT people, there's really not much to do other than just assign users to the phone numbers after the integration takes place. So we've built API integrations right into Microsoft Teams. We provision users with port numbers right into Microsoft Teams. We make it very, very seamless for companies to actually get onboarded to external calling within Microsoft Teams application itself. And this is becoming very, very popular with a lot of enterprises. They understand, okay, this hybrid work is here to stay. And we want to get rid of these PBXs because they're sitting there. You got to maintain them. These phones on their desks, on the users' desks, are getting outdated. We don't have the people to support it. So there's a huge move in medium and large enterprises to essentially just get rid of the PBX system and switch to Microsoft Teams. And we've done everything we possibly can here to simplify that whole approach and make that migration as easy and as quick as possible.
That's great. So Gary, if a company wants to convert from their existing phone system, hearing all this to Microsoft Teams, what should they look at specifically?
So one of the biggest things is they need to have the proper licensing from Microsoft Office 365. Majority of companies today are either on E3, which stands for Enterprise 3 or Enterprise 5. These are Microsoft license packages. So if you're on E3, there's an additional plan that you need to buy, which is called a phone system plan. And a company would have to go and buy that plan on their own. If they have an E5, they already have everything they need to have. So let's take a look at Microsoft Teams calling option here. What happens is when majority of our customers have an E3 plan from Microsoft or Office 365, they would actually need to purchase a phone systems license. What that does is puts a phone dialer within the Microsoft or adds a phone dialer to the Microsoft Teams environment. Users with E5 plan, Enterprise 5, already have it built in so they don't have to do anything. But E3 plan users would need to buy this plan. And essentially what it does, gives you a phone dialer. You can make receive calls as if you just dial a regular phone number. It also gives you ability to add a phone number itself so that you could get an inbound calls, not just make outbound calls. So very, very straightforward. We're all used to making calls, dialing, using a phone dialer. And this is just a feature that gets added as a part of this Microsoft Teams environment and external calling.
That's great. And for me, what I love the most is it's both the internal callers, like you just saw on the screen, as well as external callers all in one place. So that it really makes it a unified communication solution.
Can I keep my office number or do I need to get a new one?
You could do both. You could either get a new number or we could port your number. And it's a very, very straightforward process. Metto's been doing IP telephony for almost 20 years now. We've been porting numbers for a long time. So we could take your phone number, port it into the system. And as the company grows and they need more numbers, we could assign them new numbers as well.
What makes Metto unique in providing this solution to the business customer?
So a number of things. I just mentioned that we've been doing IP telephony for a long time. So we're very, very comfortable. Metto offers a slew of IP telephony services, starting from SIP trunks to IP PRIs to cloud PBX and UC. So we also offer a precursor to Operator Connect, which is called direct routing. It's essentially the same service. It's just a lot of manual work for the IT administrators. So the Operator Connect actually removes all that manual work and makes it very simple for organizations to roll out external calling. But what makes us very unique in this space is the fact that we have the automation in place, the fact that we typically offer our customers a full solution. So that will include all the circuits, SD-WAN, making sure that the quality of service is there. So when people are doing video calls, the quality is good. There is no choppiness, there's no garble, there's no people, video getting distorted. We also are able to size the circuits to the right size to make sure that they have enough bandwidth, because that was one of the biggest things as people started to come back into the office. People are used to doing these video calls. All of a sudden, IT guys were getting these alerts because they were blowing through their circuits allotments. So we usually help customers size those circuits. And also we act as a single carrier for all telecom and data type of services. So we become that single provider. When there's issues or there's any kind of questions, there's no finger pointing. We are the single source for all telecommunication needs.
Oh.
That's great. I would also add that since we're also a mobile provider and we're providing mobile devices to most of these customers, I talked about the mobile aspect of Microsoft Teams earlier. We can actually preload the Teams app so that the user's getting the device and it's ready to use. It's has that instance with their office line that they can call out from with that identifier. So it's kind of ready to use straight out of the gate.
Is there a specific industry that would benefit the most from Microsoft Teams Operator Connect?
I think Microsoft Teams is great for any kind of business, whether it's small, whether it's large, medium, any vertical. Everybody needs to communicate. Everybody's on the move these days. Everybody's all different locations. So Teams just makes it very, very simple for people to collaborate. So it works for every kind of business.
And what has the feedback been from customers that have been using the system and have it deployed by Metto?
they feel like they've been freed from their phone system. They feel like, hey, this is great because I could use it on any device, whether I'm on the laptop, whether I'm on a smartphone, anywhere in the world. You could bring up Microsoft Teams, you could use it, and people will think that they'll assume that you're in your office. You're, just like Max is at 55 Water all the time when he calls you from.
All the time.
All the time. I will definitely say, for me, I definitely feel that way. I feel like I've been freed. And especially now that I'm traveling again, which I know isn't great, but I'm doing it, I can still continue doing business from a hotel room, from a conference or wherever I go to. So it just gives you that complete solution, or certainly it has for me personally, compared to what I used to have to deal with before with a separate office system or office calling system versus my Teams collaboration tool.
Right. I mean, it sounds pretty amazing. And it does sound like everyone would benefit from this.
One other item I want to add also is a lot of people out there that still want an actual physical device, like they want to have a phone on their desk. And there are phones available. They're essentially Microsoft Teams enabled phones. There are specific phones that are made by some of these manufacturers specifically for Teams. You log into them with your username and password as if you're logging into an actual application on a smartphone or your computer, and they act like a phone. So it's great because if you have executives or you have conference rooms, you could give them a physical phone and it works just like a regular phone, only it's a Microsoft Teams phone.
Oh,
that's great. I like that.
That's very cool. Well, that brings us to game time. This is where we play a game to get to know you better. And I will ask you this or that, and you just pick the first option that sounds the best like you. Are you ready? It's a rapid game.
Yeah.
Are you ready? Okay. All right. Text or call?
Text.
Beach or mountains?
Beach.
iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
Walk or run?
Run.
Concert or movie?
Concert.
Fly or drive?
Fly.
Super hearing or X-ray vision?
That's a good one. I would probably say superhero.
It was
super hearing.
It was interesting because you didn't hear that.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Airplane window seat or aisle seat?
I'll see it always.
New York City Marathon or the London Marathon?
London Marathon is next.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Oh, wow. There's more.
There's more.
Get any ideas, Mac?
I got two more. I got London Marathon, and then I'm going to try to get into Berlin. So.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's cool. Well, good luck.
Thanks.
Cash or credit?
Credit.
Uber or Lyft?
Uber.
Tablet or laptop?
Laptop.
Strength or speed?
Speed.
Forget your wallet or forget your phone?
Forget your wallet. I never have any cash on me.
Cycling legend Eddie Merckx or the greatest sprinter of all time, Usain Bolt?
Usain Bolt.
Spontaneous or planned?
Always. We never planned anything. So I would probably say spontaneous for sure.
Cool. Dine in or takeout?
Both. Can we do both?
Sure. Sunrise or sunset?
Sunrise.
Dog or cat?
Dog for sure.
Explore the space or explore the ocean?
Explore the ocean.
Instagram or Twitter?
Instagram.
Always have a full tank of gas or always have a full cell phone battery?
Cell phone battery.
Know it all or have it all?
Know it all.
Young at heart or an old soul?
Young at heart.
That's awesome. Thank you, Gary, for joining us today and explaining Operator Connect for Teams.
This is great. Pleasure being here.
Cool.
Yeah, great having you. If you'd like to learn more about Operator Connect or any other Metto services, please visit metto.net or contact your Metto sales representative.